Gohan needed much less training time than Goku to catch up and surpass him, which is truly incredible. In today's video, I will show this to you as the new saga is explosive and the center of attention is no longer Goku and Vegeta, but Gohan with his newest transformation that arrived breaking everything. So without further delay, let's go. It is impressive when one calmly analyzes Gohan's path and compares it to Goku's. While Goku was always the warrior who trod an arduous path, accumulating years of battles, defeats, and exhaustive training to reach his highest levels of power, Gohan seemed to simply transcend all these stages in incredibly short spans of time. This contrast is one of the greatest proofs that Gohan's potential not only rivals his father's, but in many points overwhelmingly surpasses it. Since childhood, Gohan showed signs of this innate power. When he was still a child without formal training, he was already capable of unleashing energy bursts that surprised even elite enemies such as Raditz. This in a context where Goku, with all the years of martial arts and experience, would never have imagined that such a young boy could display such brute force. That is, while Goku needed an entire life to mold his body and spirit, Gohan, still unprepared, already showed a terrifying level of destruction. In the Saiyan saga, Gohan's latent power already stood out brutally. During the confrontation against Nappa and Vegeta, just a moment of fury was enough for him to unleash an energy that, if well controlled, could have completely changed the course of the battle. The difference is that, while Goku spent years with Master Roshi, Kami, and even King Kai to reach each step of power, Gohan leaped entire levels in seconds, as if it were something natural for him. The best example of all this is perhaps the hyperbolic time chamber during the Cell Saga. While Goku and Gohan trained together, it became evident that the boy absorbed the teachings at a much greater speed than his own father. Goku realized that his son achieved the Super Saiyan transformation with much less effort and emotional strain than he himself needed. In that period of a single year, which for Goku represented a significant evolutionary leap, Gohan managed to adapt, surpass, and stabilize power in a way that seemed impossible. The result of this was clear at the Cell Games. Goku, even with all his combat genius, knew he could not defeat Cell. He understood that, no matter how hard he trained, Gohan's brute potential was at a level he would never reach at that moment. And he was right. Gohan transformed into the first Super Saiyan 2, a state that Goku would only achieve much later under different conditions. That is, what Goku needed more years and extreme situations to conquer, Gohan achieved in an instant of rage. This pattern repeated itself in other sagas. In the fight against Majin Buu, for example, Gohan, after training with the Z-Sword and receiving the Elder Kai's ritual, surpassed Goku and Vegeta in a matter of days. What for other warriors would mean decades of effort, for him was just a short preparation. His state, known as Ultimate or Mystic, placed him above everyone, without the need to transform into Super Saiyan. This detail further reinforces the idea that Gohan does not need to follow the same paths that Goku trod. He simply ignores stages that seem insurmountable for any other Saiyan. In Dragon Ball Super, this aspect resurfaced. While Goku sought Ultra Instinct, a state that required countless battles, learning with Whis and near-death experiences, Gohan returned to the top with a very short training alongside Piccolo. In very little time, he not only recovered his former strength, but elevated himself to absurd levels, managing to face warriors from entire universes and even pressure Goku in his Super Saiyan Blue form. Once again, years of Goku's effort were balanced by a few months of Gohan's training. The peak of this difference came with the awakening of the Beast form. While Goku and Vegeta followed divine paths, Gohan accessed a unique and incomparable power in a minimal period. The awakening happened naturally, stemming from an emotional need to protect his daughter. There were no rituals, prolonged training, or divine masters guiding him. Just an instant of rage and focus was enough for him to transcend barriers that his father didn't even know existed. This contrast generates an inevitable reflection. If Gohan had the same discipline and will to fight as Goku, he would already be at a level unreachable for any other character in the series. His power does not require the same amount of time and effort as his father's, which makes him the true heir of the Saiyan's unlimited potential. It is as if he were the materialization of the race's genetic peak. Goku will always be the most dedicated warrior, the one who never gives up and seeks new horizons. But when compared to Gohan, it is clear that his ascent is much slower and more difficult. Gohan needs a fraction of that time to reach or even surpass results that for Goku were conquered with sweat, blood, and almost an entire lifetime of battles. It is this disparity that often leaves Goku in a position of admiration and even pride in relation to his son. He does not feel diminished, but understands that Gohan is living proof that the impossible can be broken in seconds. For Goku, every time he sees Gohan reach new heights, it is the confirmation that his lineage carries something even greater than himself. Thus, while Goku travels the path of endless effort and training, Gohan shows that there is a natural shortcut when one is born with such absolute potential. And the most impressive thing is that even without constantly seeking combat, Gohan always returns to surprise the world with his overwhelming power, reaching levels that make Goku's long training seem, in the end, almost irrelevant in the face of his speed of evolution. This becomes even more evident when we look at the Beast form. Goku spent all of Dragon Ball Super on an almost endless journey of self-improvement. He faced gods, trained with Whis, and even went so far as to challenge the limits of his own biology to achieve Ultra Instinct, something that not even the gods of destruction fully mastered. It took years of constant evolution, going through Super Saiyan Blue, Blue Kaioken, Ultra Instinct Omen until complete Ultra Instinct. Each step cost blood, sweat, defeats, and a lot of time. Gohan, on the other hand, followed a completely different path. He did not directly participate in a large part of these battles, did not constantly train with Whis, nor face the same number of divine-scale enemies as Goku. On the contrary, Gohan always had periods where he withdrew from training to focus on his personal and family life. And yet, when necessary, a short time of training with Piccolo and a crisis situation were enough for him to awaken the Beast form. The most impressive thing is that this transformation was not just another linear evolution but a colossal leap. The Beast form proved capable of rivaling and even surpassing Goku's complete Ultra Instinct. And here is the most shocking point. While Goku took all of Dragon Ball Super to reach the peak of his technique, Gohan, in an incomparably shorter time, broke all barriers and showed a power that could balance the cosmic scales. This reinforces the idea that Gohan's potential is something that transcends the traditional concept of effort and training. He is, literally, the living example that there is a difference between conquered power and latent power. Goku conquered Ultra Instinct with training and battles. Gohan, in turn, revealed the Beast form as if it were a natural right, as if his body and essence were already ready to harbor such power, just waiting for the moment to be awakened. This disparity generates an interesting analysis. If Goku, with all his dedication, still struggles to maintain the consistency of Ultra Instinct in prolonged battles, Gohan, in his Beast form, showed surprising stability right from the start. This suggests that, in addition to brute power, Gohan has a unique harmony between body and spirit, making his form even more efficient than Goku's Ultra Instinct. And the most striking thing is the trigger for this transformation. Goku needed to train for years, master divine techniques, and fight mortal enemies and gods. Gohan, on the other hand, awakened the Beast form upon seeing his daughter in danger. The emotional motivation was enough to unleash unprecedented power. This shows that Gohan's true limit is not in divine techniques, but in his own connection with the people he loves. He is the perfect example of a warrior who does not need to seek the fight. The fight comes to him, and when that happens, he responds in a monumental way. At this point, it is clear that Gohan does not need decades of effort to achieve what Goku took a lifetime to conquer. The contrast between Ultra Instinct and the Beast form symbolizes this difference. While Goku needed guides, rituals, and meticulous training to approach the perfection of instinct, Gohan merely relied on himself, his feelings, and his instinct for protection. And this led him to a comparable or even superior level. If we look at the gods, even they recognize the singularity of Ultra Instinct. But what about the Beast form, which emerged without any relation to divine teachings? This means that Gohan opened a new path, completely independent of what the gods know and value. It is not just another Saiyan transformation, it is something unique, personal, almost as if it were a new paradigm within the Dragon Ball universe itself. The difference in time to reach this level only reinforces the abyss between Goku's and Gohan's potential. Goku is the master of effort, the warrior who proves that with discipline and determination, anything is possible. Gohan, however, is the proof that a chosen few are born to break all the rules, reducing years of training to just moments of emotional transcendence. This also explains why Goku recognizes his son's worth. He knows that no matter how much he has become the strongest man of his generation, Gohan will always carry something within him that even he cannot achieve. The gift of evolving almost instantly. For Goku, every time he sees Gohan reach new heights, it is the confirmation that the future is safe. If we think about the balance of the universe, this factor is crucial. While Goku and Vegeta wear themselves out in long training sessions and cosmic battles, Gohan holds within him a trump card that can turn the tide at any moment. The beast form has already proven to be the key in critical situations, and when compared to complete Ultra Instinct, it shows that Gohan's power is, at the very least, equivalent. The most terrifying thing of all is that this may be only the beginning. If Gohan decides to maintain a consistent training routine, uniting his natural potential with discipline, there is no doubt that he will surpass even Goku's current level. The beast form may be only the gateway to something even grander. Therefore, the difference between Goku and Gohan has never been so clear as now. While one spent the entire trajectory of Dragon Ball Super seeking perfection, the other, in much less time, reached a state that rivals the gods. This places Gohan in a unique position. He can not only surpass Ultra Instinct, but can also become the key to the future of Dragon Ball. And it is precisely because of this that the next battle against Black Frieza will be the definitive proof of this difference in power. Until now, Goku has shown that, with complete Ultra Instinct, he can reach unimaginable levels of strength, agility, and combat instinct. But Gohan, with his beast form, represents a power that defies any direct comparison. The encounter with Black Frieza will not just be a fight, but an absolute test of both potentials. While Goku will have to rely on all his experience and divine techniques, Gohan will enter the battle with the advantage of an innate and explosive power, ready to be unleashed in its fullness. The difference in training time, the speed with which Gohan adapts, and his control of the beast form, all this will be put to the test. It will be impossible to ignore that. While Goku needed years to achieve complete Ultra Instinct, Gohan achieved something equivalent or even superior in much less time. Furthermore, Pon's presence will be a determining emotional factor. We know that Gohan's beast form responds strongly to the need to protect those he loves. This means that during the fight against Black Frieza, every blow, every energy explosion, and every strategic decision will be potentiated by his emotional connection, something that can unbalance the scales even against the most powerful enemy. Goku, no matter how strong he is, will need to rely on experience and instinct, while Gohan may surpass limits we don't even imagine. In the end, this battle will serve as a true watershed. It will be the moment when it is finally proven that, in terms of raw potential and capacity for self-improvement in record time, Gohan not only rivals Goku but perhaps even surpasses him. Black Frieza, who appears as a colossal threat, will be the perfect stage to demonstrate that the difference in power between father and son is not just theoretical, but absolutely concrete and overwhelming. But comment on what you thought of all this, and don't forget to like. Thank you very much for everyone's support, and until next time,